Yeah, so those individual shares for Apple, because of its market value, so its market cap is such a large portion of these indexes. When Apple has a good day, the index has a good day. And it doesn't
Right.
necessarily mean the entire market is having a good day. And that's what's making us feel a little uneasy about, this. It's definitely starting to look very bullish on the chart, but we are aware that that bullish sentiment is heavily skewed by a positive earnings call from Apple, especially since that happened on Friday.
Exactly. So like you can see, like it basically you see this wick, it
Yeah,
got bought up,
yeah,
and that's just because of Apple. But we still did close right at resistance.
yeah,
So that's why
right at
it's kind
resistance.
of unclear. So we'll have to see. How did Apple do? Like what are the numbers? Like
Yeah, let me share the. I'll share my screen here, and here's the actual numbers. So you got the weekly share versus the like expectation versus reality here. So reality on the right, expectation on the left, and you can see across the board the reality has beat the expectation. The big ones to
mm,
look at are the gross margins. So the expectation for the margins were 44.1%. We beat that 0.2%, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's quite a bit. like
when we're
and
talking billions, yeah.
yeah, and then
But
so you also see like the revenue for like iPhone sales way up. That's a big deal,
mm,
and that mixed with the news of them doing buybacks for the stocks. Buybacks for the stocks is literally just pumping money into the market cap. You're using
would you say that's every time that's just bullish?
uh, pretty. There's very
If
few
a
scenarios where
company
company buybacks
like
are bearish. Yeah, I think so. When a company has money, there is basically
yeah,
two options, right? You take the money and you pay it to the people who own the company, so you do a dividend, or you
okay,
take the money and you buy back the shares of the company to bring up the value. Either way, shareholders win. So when
mm.
when there's a positive cash flow, like there's clearly from this earnings call, that's definitely bullish news. So I think a lot of people, especially lately, have been weary of tech companies because a lot of people consider the tech sector to be quite overvalued, and it's a fair assessment. Like tech is oftentimes valued based on its future prospect, not based on its current value.
Right,
So,
right, right.
I understand why people feel that way, but we're talking about Apple. Apple isn't.
Right.
It's not a startup. They're not trying
Um,
to build something
Blue
innovative.
chip, I
They
mean,
yeah they
it's the
have.
biggest blue chip.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So it's like while companies like Uber and Tesla and stuff are absolutely much more speculatively valued, you know Apple is a successful version of what it's valued at what
right.
it's worth. I mean, look, you're pulling $51.3 billion in revenue simply from phone sales. Uh, that's
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's quite good. So that's absolutely why we're seeing this chop and this uncertainty. Like Sid was saying, the market was much more bearish before Apple's earnings call came in. So like we were getting a much more bearish close on the weekly chart, and once that Apple earnings came in, it really kind of
Yeah,
threw a wrench
Friday, the
into it
last day of the week,
right
it
before the
just
market
like
closed.
sort of like week back up.
Yeah, and
And
that's uh,
and
it's tricky.
yeah,